G'day guys, Tillis20 here and welcome back to Parkitect. Last episode we built the B&M hypercoaster that snakes its way around the park and does this really cool interaction with the entrance of Tidal Studios that I really love. And today I wanted to do a little bit of work on the supports because basically the supports, you can't see the supports because they are over a lot of the paths and the supports are naturally disappeared because of that, but that's also a good thing because I did want to do my own custom supports because I wanted to make room for the people to be able to navigate themselves around basically the supports of the ride. So yeah, I wanted to do my own, although I didn't realize how tricky this was going to be. For those of you who have used supports before, done custom supports, you'll know the pain of doing these. I mean, I think it's really worth it in the end, but you can imagine how long this took. It took ages, a lot of trial and error, a lot of times where I thought I was putting supports underneath the ride and then it turned out I wasn't. And I also do a safety net at some point too, so that adds a lot of detail to this area, which I'm sure you guys will look forward to. It just adds so much realism, and I think the payoff is definitely well worth it, but it was an absolute pain. So I'm definitely not going to do this for every single roller coaster that I do, but considering this one is just front and center of the park, I needed to do something. So we will do a time lapse for about 8 minutes and then we'll get into a live play and I'll show you a little bit more of the things that I did and talk about the future development and also the management of the park. Because as you can see, we are open for business and people are running around and we are losing money because basically we have no rides. This is one of the only rides that we have. Actually, I take that back. So this roller coaster is the only ride that is definitely going to stay in the park. The rest of the rides are really just there to make a bit of money and to make the Sims happy, and then we'll sort of delete them one by one as we add extra rides in the theme park. As you guys are aware, this is inspired by Hollywood Dream Coaster in Universal Studios in Japan, and to get the idea of where these supports go, I had to go down to Street View and just have a look at some of the different angles and look at where the supports interact with the path, and just got ideas from that. And I knew that I had to do some sort of safety net underneath it because one, there's a lot of people going underneath the roller coaster at this angle, and two, it does some pretty ejector style elements on this that I think that probably let loose a lot of people's loose items, and I think you'd probably need some sort of safety net. By the way, there's no name for this coaster as of yet, and the theming is nothing yet. We do need some sort of theming. I don't mind how loose it is, but if you guys have any ideas, then please hit me up with the ideas of what this is themed to. It's going to shoot out of a studio, kind of like some sort of an emergency style of ride, as you can imagine. So I don't know, it could be themed to something like the Incredible Hulk, but of course not the Incredible Hulk. It has to be something of our own creation. Maybe he's a purple strong guy, who knows. But we need to have some sort of theming for this because I don't want rides just for the sake of having rides. I would like every single ride to have some sort of theming behind it, and this coaster is no exception. It's got to have something. So that is I definitely need feedback on that, and on top of that, we are moving into building the rest of the park now that the park is open and we are inside the gates of the park. So we do need to start thinking about what sort of themed lands we should be having so that I can start planning for them and figuring out where they're going to sit. So you guys came up with some really great suggestions last week. Someone mentioned that I should do a themed land based on the cities that I have in City Skylines, and I just think that is a really cool idea. Something like based on Border Town, and it might have a Marble Mountain ride or something like that. I think that'd be really awesome. So we'll do something like that. But I would like there to be something based on New York in the park, and I would love there, and I think the entrance is going to resemble more of a Hollywood-esque vibe as you're stepping foot into the movies and into Hollywood, and then the movies come alive. But then I would really love some areas that are full adventure or full like fantasy areas with like dragon themed or you know, Mayan, like Egyptian themed maybe, or something like that. But I'm just trying to think of which ones to go with. I don't want to like say I'm going to do a whole bunch of them and then basically say I'm going to do too many than I can actually achieve. But I would like to get some like real fantasy or magical elements into it too. And I think that whatever weenie we end up having in the middle of the lake or in the middle of the park that is very iconic and, you know, quite unique to this park. Not just unique, but it's like the main photo op for the area. I would really love that to be some kind of mountain or volcano or something like that with a roller coaster going in the middle. I know we did something like that in the last $2 Studios, but I would really love to do something in this one because I just think that I think the park deserves it. So yeah, any ideas for that, please keep the ideas coming so that we can start implementing them over the next couple of weeks. You can see that I'm working on the support still. I mean, it's a big job. The supports are tricky to go over the paths as well because I need to leave room for the people to walk around, and I really hate it when they clip into the paths as well. So I'm trying to like make it so that they've got space around to walk between, and yeah, it was definitely tricky. You can also see that I'm starting to detail some of the buildings around here too, because next episode we're going to be working on the main street, and I want this to be really detailed. I'm going to spend a lot of time detailing each of these buildings. So this is a bit of a tester as I try to figure out what sort of style I'm going to go for. And I'm pretty much taking this building from what I can see from Google Street View when I'm in Universal Studios in Japan, and I think that a lot of the building styles are going to be based on just buildings that I can see from LA, and even just going into any sort of Universal streets, I might just try and recreate it. And I think it's going to be a much easier way of creating those styles. But look, that was a short time lapse, wasn't it? We're going to get into the live play now, and I'm going to show you a little bit more about how the park is functioning and the future ideas for the park too. So like I said in the last episode, I do want to change the way these paths look. These are not going to stay like this, by the way. This is a total work in progress. So I'm thinking I'm going to tone them down, and I think I'll probably end up getting rid of these archy circular bits because I think they're causing more problems than they're worth. So I don't know, we might keep some of them, but I think I'll get rid of other parts. But yeah, don't get used to these paths. Work in progress. I don't know if I really want you guys going through that. Let's just get rid of... yeah, something like that. Let's do that. Okay. We'll fix this up. This is, by the way, I'm not going to keep this save game. So we now have our B&M hypercoaster flying over our entrance. I mean, it just looks great. It's really cool, and particularly with these supports as well. I think it really adds to it. And when we start filling out this main street, yeah, it's gonna look awesome. I tried to make a nice gap between here. I mean, it's not perfect. They are clipping into it, but I think it's fine. Yeah, it's really cool. Over here we got less room, but over this area I feel like it's gonna be more backstage type of stuff. Like I don't imagine many people will be coming over this way. I might even make it only like employees only and just like block this off or something like that, but might wait and see. This is the main street here, and this is where most people are going to be walking to. Although I will keep this one open a little bit because I do like that there's this real backstage type of area where you come and see the coaster as it dives underneath this lowered section, and I think there's some really cool interaction here. Like I really love this section. I think it's really cool. And you can sort of see where it's, they've built the park, before. So they've got, this building here and this building, and then like at some stage the B&M Hyper was then put into the park. So I'd imagine that this has been a more recent development rather than something that was built when the park was built. So I like that it's really shows that it's, you know, been placed over a lot of different other buildings. On top of that, I want to do something over here. Like, I do really like these supports. I think they're kind of interesting, and you know, they're obviously, like, I tried to make it as if they you know, trying to make it as if they're as realistic as possible. So the supports are leaning on this side because I want it to look as if it's you know, supporting the weight of the coaster, as the forces are, you know, pushed into this direction, more so if it was, you know, straight down. So I do like that, but I do want to fix this up a little bit. I put it to you guys a couple of episodes ago about this train track, and I'm still thinking about getting rid of it. I'm thinking about making this like the stop here, and we'll obviously keep the train station here, but I think I might get rid of this because it's limiting my space a bit. But like, I'm totally after suggestions. If you got a reason why I should keep this, hit me up, let me know, and then I'll keep it. But like, the thing that I'm really enjoying about this park is just like the different levels we got. You know, we've got this underneath level where a lot of the employees are going. I'll show you a little bit of the backstage stuff in a sec. Then you've got, you know, the main area, the main park walkway where you see a lot of the people walking around, and then you've also got the coaster on top, and I just really love those multi-layers. I want to show you over here. So this is obviously where the entrance is going to sit, and I'm going to keep the entrance really basic. I'm thinking it's going to look more like a studio, and then it's going to blast out of the studio. So sort of thinking about like a theming based around some sort of disaster, and then it, you know, shoots out of the studio walls or something like that. But you know, still a work in progress. And because this is going to be like a studio warehouse, all this is going to be more like Main Street. This will be more like Main Street. And then I'm thinking, and this is like just the general idea for the path layout, but you know, coming down towards this way, we're going to have our big lake area, and that's where we'll have our like weenie, and it's going to sit on top of there. But yeah, that's like the general idea, but totally open to suggestions. In terms of the rides, so I've been placing out a couple of rides. This guy here, I'm going to probably keep that there, and I'm going to make some sort of theater ride that's going to, you know, be the entrance, and I'll go inside him. I'm thinking like a Terminator style attraction, and we'll just have this Gravitron sitting underneath. So that'll probably stay. I have added a couple of sneaky rides, so you'll probably be able to see. Yeah, come on. There we go. Yeah, there's this guy. Look, I'm not proud of that. I'm really not proud of it. But what I do like about it is that we're seeing people going here, which I kind of like, and then people exit from here, which I sort of like that too. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. But that's just there to, you know, increase the attractiveness of the park. And then we also have a couple of rides like still snuck in the walls. There he is there. There's a couple of rides in here, but yeah, like I said, we'll get rid of them eventually. The only one to stay around here is going to be the motion simulator within our arcade. But I mean, like, the park's doing pretty well. The trash is a bit of a problem. I believe I've probably need to get a few. Oh, we've just split them into 2 zones for the time being. They probably need a bit of training. Now I probably could put something in here, which would be pretty fun. Hide scenery. Yeah, so down here I've got like a rubbish chute, so we're seeing like a lot of workers come down here and use this area. And we've also got this staff room too, and I'll probably need to put some sort of training facility down here as well. You know what, let's do that now. Okay. That's something we're going to need. But I do love that they're kind of coming back here and doing some interactions down here, because yeah, it's fun seeing there's 2 different levels. And then, like I said in the last episode, we've got our warehouse where we're getting a lot of the cargo. But yeah, we do need to fix up the trash. I think it's because there's so much space here. We actually need quite a lot of janitors to fix it up. But all this is going to be backstage, and I'm going to, yeah, build up our main street around here. And this is like just temporary, but I think we're going to have a monorail that's going to sit here, and then it's, yeah, somehow going to make its way around. But yeah, guys, that is pretty much it for today's episode. I'm pretty keen to get started with yeah, trying to expand out the park a bit more and make just a touch more profit, because at the moment it's not looking great. It's not looking great for us. But yeah, hopefully we'll end up making a bit of cash at some stage. But I do hope you've enjoyed it. Any suggestions, please hit me up. I'm all ears. And thank you all very, very, very much for watching. I want to give a special shout out to some of my patrons like Expander Digital, The Engineer, and Corey Molds. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!